that, now what we'll do is we'll chant some prayers that will offer obeisances unto the spiritual masters. So let's do so.
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टां स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदामयं ददाति स्वपदन्तिकम् Aleha Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamala Shri Guru Vaishnavaksya Shri Rupa Sagrajata Sahagana Bhagavad Pitam Dhammajivam Advaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Gandhitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Kanta Namostate Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Ishavani Sute Pranamami Hari Priya Panchakalpatubhyascha kripasidhugevacha Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Diyodamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauramani Puttarine Shri Sanyavani Pashtatya Deshatarine
Verses Bhumir Lo Vayu Tan Manuburi Evacha Ankara Iti Yame Vina Prakritir Ashtavha. So this is talking about the inferior energies of this world. These are the things that we can measure with our senses. This is also the things that we can measure with the subtle senses, with our sense of ego, thinking I am this body, I am this personality, I come from this family, I come from this. This is actually has really nothing to do with who we are eternally. These are temporary designations. So this is called ahankara. And this I am a man, I'm Italian, I am Indian, I'm a boy, I'm a girl, I'm a yoga teacher, I'm a husband, I'm a father, all these things, all these I ams, these are actually inferior and not factual. They're not eternal. Really, there's only one I am, and Jivara Swarupa Hoy, Krishnara Nityadas, Krishnara Tatastha Shakti, Beta Beta Prakash. So the one's actual form of the jiva is to be an eternal servant of Krishna. That's really what we are. And so in the next verse, Krishna is going to say, Aparayam itastvanyam prakritim vidi me param. And then he says, Prakritim vidhi me param. I have to cheat and look. But I actually know this. Jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam daryate jagat. And this is ultimately, he's saying, aparayam this is the inferior energy. Itas, this, and besides this is tvanyam, another energy. Prakritim is energy. Vidhi, ne, me, my, Krishna saying, param, superior, know my superior energy. And what is the superior energy? Jiva bhutam. Everything is consisting of jivas. Jivas are the living entities. making up everything. Mahabaho is almighty armed. It's like calling our, because it's Bhagavad Gita there, Krishna calls Arjuna mighty armed Arjuna, Mahabaho. But then Yayedam is by whom Daryate, this is being utilized, Jagat, this world. This universe is being utilized by the jivas. So really the superior energy is us, the souls, and we're utilizing all of the inferior energies, and that's what this world is. Superior energy, utilizing and misutilizing the inferior energy. But we're not really interested in staying on the platform of this inferior energy. So then there's the next verse is Etad Yonini Bhutani. Sarvani Tyupadadaya Aham Kritsnasya Jagata Prabhava Pralayastata. And then Krishna starts telling about who he is in relation. So this is what we need to know. These three things. What's the inferior energy? What's the superior energy? And that's us, the living entities, and all of us around here. Not your bodies, not your designations, but actually the soul who's experiencing existence. You're a superior energy. And then there's the supreme energy, and that's Krishna. And he's saying, Etad, from these two energies, the inferior and superior, Yonini, the source of birth, Bhutani, of everything created. Everything that you see in this world is from these two energies. This is made of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So is our bodies. And the people who built it and are utilizing all these things are the spirit souls. They're the ones functioning, moving all the energies. So that's what he's saying. And then he's saying, Sarvani Tyupadaraya. So know that all, Aham Kritsnasya Jagata, I am I am included in all of this whole world. Everything is included in me. Prabhava Pralayastata. I am the one who manifests it, and I am the one who destroys it as well. So this is what we should actually understand. Because sometimes we get really caught up. I know myself, sometimes I'm crunching numbers. How are we going to pay bills? How are we going to do this? And I'm focusing on this inferior energy of how will I get the resources to do this thing or that thing and the other thing, right? But ultimately, I mean, we watched a wonderful movie last night. It was Lolita, Ben, Madhav, myself. Parth, you should have been there, but it's okay. My wife and Abhiram too. But we watched Mahavatar Nrsinga on Netflix. If you didn't watch it yet, go watch it. It's very nice. You watched it yet, you guys?
This week.
Yeah, yeah. Too late. Yeah, no problem. But it was wonderful. And one of the things that I was really encouraged because it's by the movie is that the example of Prahlad Maharaj, no matter what material circumstance was going on around him, and it looked like he was going to die over and over and over again, but every time he had the higher realization, he understood the supreme controller of all things. And he would chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And every time the some lesser energy than Vasudev, than the supreme energy, meaning other souls, and tried to utilize material elements to hurt Prahlad, because he was focused on the supreme energy, nothing could touch him, actually. It's very, very powerful. And even myself, I found myself, because I go through my daily duties, and I found myself again, okay, I'm working towards my goals every day. But in which way am I working? Am I trying to engage material energy? Or am I trying to engage with other jivas? Or am I approaching the supreme energy, Bhagavan? I found myself, because of that movie yesterday, I found myself today pausing my duties and focusing more on approaching Bhagavan. So I got my rounds done early today. Very rare for me to do, but because I was so inspired, I was able to keep, the idea of, no, what else should I really be doing? Everything's being controlled by Bhagavan. It's really so it's so much so that if we did nothing else and we just called upon the Lord, everything would work out. Probably even better than what we're already doing. I swear, I haven't fully done that in my life, but I do that probably more than a majority of people. And I've put in far less work than, physical manual labor than many people, but still Krishna is giving me the same, if not more, of certain necessities of life than someone who might be, really busting their butt in the world. But this is actually how it works. You call out to the Lord, and He makes sure that you're going to be not only taken care of, but a relationship is formed. So this is also the next understanding. You understand what this is, material energy. Okay, superior energy, starting to be spiritual energy, the jivas, you all. And then there's the supreme energy, which is Bhagavan, the supreme Lord, who is ultimately, he's manifesting and destroying everything in this world. All of it is his. Yeah, it's all included in his energies. So how are you associating? How are you distinguishing what you're associating with? So those who study Bhagavad Gita, they know this. They know everything is actually God's. Everything is for God, and everything is God's, and I'm only borrowing God's energy. I'm not earning anything. Either the Lord is sanctioning that I could utilize some of his energy or he's not. And like this. So then Krishna says, Mata parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya mai sarva idam protang sutre mani gana iva. And that means Mata is from me, Parataram, there's no superior truth. Nanyat, there's not another. Anything else is Anyat Kinchid. There's not something else. Um, Asti, there is not. Dhananjaya is O conqueror of wealth, another name for Arjuna. Mai, so he's saying, so I think that means in me, sarvam, all that is, idam, which we see, this which we see. Protang is strung. Like protang is like strung like a necklace. Sutre is like on a thread, like an actual necklace. Manigana is pearls. Eva, like, so we're everything is actually strung on Krishna, like pearls on a necklace. All of the energies, everything that you see, everything that you're associating with is strung on Krishna. So those who acknowledge that Krishna, they are very, very fortunate. Those who forget and associate with the other forms, the inferior energies, they're far less fortunate. Like I said, 99.99999% of people, and living beings, this is what they associate with. So our challenge, I don't want to challenge you all, but I kind of do. But our plea to you is please associate with the most superior energy. Please understand who you are. And understand that even your identification with your body is inferior energy. Your concoctions of your mind are inferior energy, meaning all your ideas are inferior energy. Your intelligence, your process of understanding reality, inferior energy. You are superior. The observer of existence is superior. But your processing in this material world is inferior. But all day we spend, especially with the mind. Mind is telling so many things. But ultimately, what is the supreme energy? It's the Supreme Lord. And the Supreme Lord is non-different from his names, from his forms, Rupa. I mean, even the deity form, painting forms, he's non-different from these things. Charitari is not different from his character, his pastimes, his instructions in Bhagavad Gita, and so on. It's Srimad Bhagavatam. So I'm not saying, all right, be like Prahlad Maharaj, drop it all, don't worry about going back to work or class tomorrow and just chant Om Namo Bhagavate and you'll be fine. I'm not saying, but everyone has some free time in their life. And everyone prioritizes activities they have to do. But if you're not prioritizing the activities of associating with the Lord via one simplest, best, Easiest thing, just calling his name, the Maha Mantra, is the most empowered names of the Lord in this Kali Yuga. So if you're not designating time and chanting the Maha Mantra, you're missing out for sure. If you're not taking time to study the instructions of the Lord, his character, his pastimes, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Bhagavad Gita, even more importantly than that is the process of Shravanam, actually hearing about the Lord. So, that actually can only happen with devotees more advanced than yourself. So this is very important, very, very important. Just reading books it's not enough actually. It's great because devotees more advanced than ourselves, incredibly empowered devotees, presented the books and explained the books. But because we're processing it with our own lower inferior energy, mind, intelligence, and false ego, we kind of pollute it. We pollute like a pure thing. Just like if you have a dirty cup and you pour clean water in the dirty cup, it gets yucky, right? So we are the dirty cup, our mind, intelligence, and false ego, and then the pure knowledge that Krishna gives us via the scriptures. If we just study by ourselves, not enough. You need a purified source to help you clean, and help make sure that you're keeping clean. And that's what actually a guru is. But here, what you can access a guru is through at least a Vartma Pradarshika guru. Everyone here, every devotee is called to be a Vartma Pradarshika guru. Vartma Pradarshika is one who shows the path, the Vartma, the one who's showing the path. So you should all go out and tell your friends something you've learned spiritually that has helped you, and you could act as a Vartma Pradarshika guru for them. But you should all associate with some devotees who have some more experience than you, some more realization maybe, and that will help you to make advancement. But yeah, we have to do something. We can't just stay where we're at, and we can't just keep associating with the inferior energy, because the inferior energy, it's temporary. It disappoints us at death when we lose it all. Everything you're working so hard. Many people are working 8, 10 hours a day, every day. But if you're working for something that ultimately isn't progressing you spiritually, then it's a waste of life. What is here? I'll show you. Don't believe just me. You can believe Krishna again in the Srimad Bhagavatam. You guys trust Krishna? Is he a good source? Yes, he's the perfect source. So I'm gonna try. I tried to share this another time, but I'm like scared. Oh yes. Repeat after me. So this is Shukadev Goswami in the beginning of the Bhagavatam. They asked him the questions, essentially, what is the most auspicious thing that one can do? Maybe I'll give you the 2 verses before this. Savai pum sang paro dharmo, yato bhaktir adhokshaje, ahaitu kiprati hata yatma supersediti. And that's certainly that for mankind, the supreme dharma, the supreme occupation is that which devotional service or love or bhakti, devotion unto that Hokshaje, who's the supreme truth, the supreme transcendence, the higher. A haituki without any cause, without any of your own personal motivations. And yapratihata, unending, always unbroken, always happening. Yayatma, by which the soul, the Atma, supersedity, can be completely satisfied. So this is what the only thing that which you need to do is actually bhakti unto the Adhokshaja, without any motivation and without any end, meaning you're always doing bhakti. That's the only thing that can completely satisfy the self. Who wants to be completely satisfied? Yes. But then we're not following the program, right? The program is just, oh yeah, just always be doing bhakti. Okay. But when every day when we maybe say, I'll give like 1 hour to bhakti today. So that for that 1 hour, we have a chance of complete satisfaction. And then the rest of the 23 hours of the day, who's math? 23 out of 24 is what? What's the percent here? Maybe a little less than 4% or something like that. So we have 4% chance of happiness, 1 hour of bhakti a day. Very nice. So maybe I give 2 hours, 8%, 8% happy. Wonderful that we're getting better, right? But we should give. Everything should become bhakti somehow. Even your work, even your relationships, even all the activities that you're doing, you should do bhakti. Many people already know. Doing, like for instance, in Bhagavad Gita, is giving the process of karma yoga. You take your karma, your work, and the fruits of your work, and you give it in some way in bhakti. I watch many people here. They use their money and their spent earned resources, and then they'll buy things for the devotees, for the programs, to continue on, in which they don't get anything at all other than, to serve the devotees. Maybe some residual prasadam comes their way or something like that. But that's for everyone. But this is actually what we need to do. We have to start spiritualizing everything in our life, spiritualizing our activities, spiritualizing what we're focusing on. And yeah, like for instance, the tendency is to want to have entertainment, movies, enjoyment, all these things. But we're able to watch a nice devotional movie now on Netflix, Mahavatar Nishinga. Go watch. It's very nice. It's very nice. Um, so yes, but this isn't even the main point. Okay, always doing bhakti is what will completely satisfy the self. And he's saying next, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayat Yashu Vairagyam Jnanang Cha Yada Haitukam. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. So by doing bhakti unto Krishna, immediately knowledge that has not from your own doing will come, and detachment from the inferior energies of the world will naturally also come. So this is also a secret. I just associate with the inferior energy all day. That's all I do is inferior activities. And I'm so attached to them. Don't worry, practice some bhakti, and knowledge and detachment will come automatically. So the only problem is not enough bhakti has been practiced yet. Try joining with the devotees. And do you know what is bhakti? What are the first 3 limbs of bhakti? What's that? The surrender is a limb of bhakti, but that's a high limb of bhakti, not of the first 3.
Search on the spiritual master.
Yes, these are actually, this is very important. To seek, of the 64, the first 3 are all having to do with finding a guru and surrendering to him, and then ultimately, eventually taking initiation even. And that's part of the surrendering process, and serving him. So, when you do that, but in the search for that even, the first 3 are Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Vishnu Smaranam. These are the main things. So these are the main bhakti activities. So maybe, guru hasn't come, or it's not so easily available, or all you have is maybe a Vartman Pradarshika guru at your local center, or maybe some Shiksha guru, some senior devotee, but you don't have a formal guru. That's okay. You can still practice Shravanam. You can come and hear from advanced devotees or more advanced devotees than yourself. Kirtan, you can share what you've heard. You can chant. You can glorify. You can tell your friends. You can also bring your friends over to the devotees and things like that. And then this will allow you, what you share will allow you to actually remember. What you hear and what you share will allow you to remember. And then, yes, 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 go ahead.
Sorry.
Not interrupting.
So, when you said for the Smaran part and Shravanam, if we are doing our daily activities normally and like cooking or anything,
Yes.
if like I'm just talking about my habit. Anytime I'm doing cooking or anything, I'm always listening to Krishna Katha or
That's very good.
so that is also a part of the three lines of Bhakti.
Yeah, yes and no. Yes and no. So, yes, because I also do the same thing. While I'm cooking, I'm listening to lectures, Hari Katha,
Yes.
and getting so much actually out of that. So in one sense, it's a yes, but it's not complete because one of the qualities of a guru or somebody who is giving the katha an instruction is that they also can dispel your doubts. And they actually are called karnadara. They actually navigate you through the ear, meaning that what they speak maybe will be so potent and it can't be transmitted completely through the machinery. You know, it'll be so potent, it'll come in the heart and it'll completely touch the heart and you'll want to change your course. And so it's not enough to just hear with the technology, even though that is very good, because guru or even advanced Vaishnava association will not always be there. It's very rare, actually. So when you get the opportunity, if you have opportunity to associate with more advanced devotees than yourself, you should almost always take it. Almost always take. But if you don't have such opportunity, then it's a very good activity. And it's perfect activity. You should continue, carry on like this, but don't think that's enough. Yeah, yeah. Yes. So, but otherwise, that's a very good because you're cooking, you have to cook to eat and offer and to survive. You have to do like this. I am also doing, every day I have my, hour and a half to 2 hours of lectures while I'm cooking and eating. I'm also listening. And it helps me so much. But, I find myself not able to having some doubt and things like that. So then I actually reach out to the personality that I'm listening to, and I'm hoping for more clarification. And that will really help me, but every day I'm being nourished by also listening. So yeah, you do like this. This is good, but don't think that's enough. Yeah, yeah. Don't get complacent. Oh yeah, I do my devotion every day, It's like this. Yeah, yeah. Yes, absolutely. But it's not going to touch the heart of what really everyone should be focusing on. The main thing we all need to be focusing on right now is to get as much Shravanam as possible, as much hearing as possible from more advanced devotees than ourselves. In Syracuse, Mantra Central can provide so much. We're inviting guests who can provide more. And, but also you'll have to form relationships with a bona fide spiritual master, and then I'll have to take that as the process. As much, um, there's a verse in the uh, Nectar of Instruction, Upadeshamrita. It goes, Krishneti yasya giritang manasadriyeta, tikshasti chet pranatibhishcha bhajantamisham, shushrusaya bhajana bhigyamananyamanya, nindati shunyahidamipsita sangalabdhya. And what that means, one who speaks Krishna on their tongue, on their words, giri tongue, they have, you should offer them respect in the mind. Oh, they're nice devotee. They're speaking Krishna. Very good. Next, Dikshasti chet pranitibhis bhajantam isham. One who has bhajan unto the Supreme Lord, and has taken initiation, who has taken that commitment and steps, like some of the devotees here have. And not only that, pranitibhis, you should offer your pranams to them. You should give them your respects. And then Shushrusaya bhajana vigyam ananyamanya nindati shunyam hidamipsita sangalabdhya. So Shushrusha means you should practically serve, but actually what it means, it comes from hearing. You should hear from bhajana vigyam, one who is advanced in bhajan, one who is advanced in their devotion. You should hear from that person. Shushraya bhajana vigyam ananyam. They're fixed. They're nothing else they're focused on. They're only focused on that bhakti. And then anya nindadi, and then the fault of criticizing others, shunya, they are free from that. They're not criticizing. This is a symptom actually of a pure devotee, is they have no tendency to criticize others. So this type of devotee is shunya, hridam, and no tendency to criticize is in their heart at all. Ipsita, this is desirable. Sangha, association, labdhya, go obtain that. You should run to that, you know. So anyone who has more closer to that as possible, you should run to that person. Yeah, and you get as much association as possible, actually. So this is more advanced teachings. So this is how you do bhakti, actually. You have to find those who you can actually do that process. Bhakti is not just, oh, I have an idea today, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. That's nice. These things are good. But the real process is we have to find advanced personalities. Ideally, what Madhav said, a bona fide spiritual master. Not easy to find, actually. Not easy. So you find the most advanced devotees you can find and you hear from them and you make advancement. This is bhakti, actually. And then what you've heard from them, like someone has told you about the Maha Mantra, someone has told you about Krishna, you start sharing that too, kirtan, and then you'll remember, and then you'll start to do more archanam, vandanam, worship, attending aratis, attending the Mangal Arati. You'll start to develop these things. You'll want to come and sing prayers to the Lord every day, like the bhajans, and you'll consider yourself a servant. You'll consider yourself a friend to the Lord. And then what you said, Atma Nivedanam. Then you'll surrender everything to the Lord. But that's a high teaching of bhakti. Oh yes, just surrender. But first you start with hearing. Come and hear. This is one of the processes to eventually get to surrender. You have to dedicate time to come hear more about how you can improve your bhakti in your life. This is the only way you can be completely satisfied. You'll get causeless knowledge, you'll get detachment from the world, and then this. Dharma svanustita pungsham vishvakshena kathasuryaha natpada yed yadirating shrama eva hi kevalam. Oh, shrama eva hi kevalam. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. So what we are doing in our own positions, our own things, if it's only so much useless labor. Who likes to do useless labor? No one? No one's likes, Kumari, you like useless labor? Are you sure? You sure you don't want to go to work and then they don't have to pay you anything? No, that doesn't. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Useless labor, no one should like useless labor. There should always be some purpose to the labor. You don't have to necessarily get paid for your labor. It could be labor out of love, like bhakti, but it should not be useless, you know. So everything that one does should somehow provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. So why are you doing your material activities? It's to nourish your spiritual life. That's the only thing that can make you happy, but that's not what most people are doing. They're doing all useless labor and have no interest in the message of the personality of Godhead. No interest in hearing anything about, what, even that there, no knowledge there even is a God. And then if there is a God, they just say, I just believe in God. That's enough. I'll be happy. No interest in hearing the message of God. That's very important. Believing in God is good. It means you're not an atheist. But that's about all it means. Because unless you take to the process of sadhana, so maybe there's this verse, this Dashmula Tattva verse by Bhaktivinoda Thakur actually explains all of the what's called nine prameyas, the nine truths, understanding of the pramana, the evidence of what we need to do, what the Lord is revealing to us. And it goes, Amnaya praha tatvang harim api, no, iha, yes, paramang, sadhana, no, sarva shaktim rasabdhim, tadvinang shas cha prakriti, cha jivan prakriti kavalitan, tadvi Tad vimuktang shabhavam Veda Veda prakasham sakalam api hare sadhanam shuddha bhakti. This is actually very important, that line. Sadhanam is Shuddha Bhakti. In order, and then what's the sadhya? So sadhanam is a process to get your goal. And then sadhyam is tadpritim. Tadpritim is his affection, his love. Uh, so this whole verse is actually talking about the inferior energy of Krishna, the all the energies of Krishna, talking about the Krishna's personal manifestations in how he's associating with different devotees in rasa or in love and in spiritual accelerants, like a servant to master or child to son, friendship, and so on, and romantic and everything. And then it's talking about all the different energies, like the inferior energy, the jivas, then the jivas who are bound by the inferior energy. Then there's the jivas who are free from that. And then there's ultimately, he's one and different from everything. Everything is in Krishna, but also Krishna is very unique and unlike anything you can find anywhere else. So how we should really be interested in that Krishna. Who is this? Who is this personality? How do I associate it with this supreme highest personality? And he tells you, sadhanam shuddha bhakti. Shuddha bhakti. It's the path of pure devotional service. And that's what I was just explaining. First is Shravanam. You have to come and hear from not me, not hearing from me or Parth or Madhav or whoever is giving the class. You have to find more advanced devotees and hear. That's the only way you make more advancement. Only way. You cannot make more advancement on your own strength. Oh, I hear lectures on the YouTube. That's great. But if it's just your own filter in your mind processing it, that is not enough. That's the inferior energy of the Lord. He's saying, uh, Kang manu buddhir evacha. The mind and the intelligence, your mind and your intelligence are inferior. You cannot rely on them. Nor can you rely on your ahankara, your sense of identification in the world, which is why reading books and listening to lectures is not enough. Because it's only being processed by your mind and intelligence. Whereas, your mind and intelligence, if you hear something, your mind and intelligence may interpret, and then you say, well, I have a question about that. And then the speaker can help you through that. Actually, what makes somebody a guru, one of the qualities of a guru is mentioned in Uddhav Gita, in Srimad Bhagavatam, is Shabde Pare Chanishnatam. He's completely conversant in transcendental sound. Meaning, if you have a doubt, he'll be able to prove with his understanding of transcendental sound of Shastra that in which will clarify your doubt. And then the other one is Brahmanyu Pashamashraya. He's completely fixed in Brahman or the absolute truth. In Upashamashraya, he is completely, he's taken shelter in detachment from all material things. He is no longer attached to material things. So this person is a guru. So unless you find such a personality, you will not be able to break free from the inferior energy. And how did he break free? It starts from the Lord. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, whenever this knowledge is lost, I come to reestablish Dharma. And I will personally come and set this back. So then the Lord, he is always engaged in making sure that there's a pure channel, a pure connection to him. So guess what? He's not here right now giving a new form of Bhagavad Gita, which means that the old Bhagavad Gita is still valid, and which means that there's some pure source that is transmitting Bhagavad Gita. Now your job is to seek that source. Shushrusha bhajana vigyam ananya manya. You have to find that person who is beyond the tendency for material criticisms, completely devoid in the heart. And you can actually hear from such a personality, and then they will liberate. They will raise you to the next platform, and help you actually make advancement in bhakti. And then you can maybe reach your goal. The sadhyam, the goal is actual affection, actual love in relationship with the Lord. And the guru, who is a very intimate servitor of the Lord, actually will guide you through that every step of the way. So this is our process, actually. Not, we're so used to self-elevation processes. Oh, I know, I'll do this today. Or I'll do this. I'll make some plan. And that's good to a certain extent. Karma yoga is that, jnana yoga is that, ashtanga yoga is that. But bhakti yoga is, which is very rare, is not that. Bhakti yoga actually relies on you receiving bhakti, humbly approaching one who has bhakti. Then you can get bhakti. You cannot earn bhakti. You can earn karma, you can earn some jnana, and you can earn some ashtanga meditational benefit, but you cannot earn bhakti. You can be either given bhakti, you can receive bhakti, but it's causeless. It's a haituki, It's mercy. The Christians, they argue about this, whether they have to do any good works or not. And a lot of the lazy ones say, no, you don't have to do any good works. It's all about it's all about grace. But they're right, actually. It is all about grace. But if you really receive grace, you would be inspired to do good works. But they don't want to hear that. But anyhow, this is our process. Don't do useless labor. So much useless labor is being done by us. So much. You'll see it. You'll feel it. You'll get depressed because, oh my God, I was wasted 3, 4, 10 hours of my life. I wasted so much of my life. If it's not provoking attraction for the message of personality of Godhead, everything you do is useless labor. So every day there should be some program where you should be coming and hearing. Every day we have Bhagavatam class here. Every day we're reading from Bhagavatam. We're going deeper into the message of Godhead. We're inviting guests who are proficient. They've heard from masters. They themselves, many are masters. We should not be doing useless labor. It's out of compassion, one for myself, my family, and some of the people here under my, influence in some way. I cannot watch them do useless labor. It will only hurt me too much. Oh, why are you so engulfed in useless labor? So what are you doing, like Tanu? What are you doing to provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead? Like, so while you do some work, yes, okay, you can listen to some Krishna Katha. You can listen. I used to do this on the farm. I used to pick weeds on a strawberry farm, and it would go hundreds and hundreds of yards down in rows of strawberries, acres upon acres, and every day, the whole summer, we're just going around, and by the time we get to the end, the weeds have already grown on the other side, and then we start all over again. All day, this is all I did, but all day I would wear my headphones, and I would just listen to Bhagavad Gita as it is. And I got the most thoroughly enlightened I have had ever gotten in a summer by doing that every day, just listening Bhagavad Gita all day while picking weeds. So in that way, it was good. So whatever you're working, whatever you're doing, maybe you have some time. Maybe you cannot give so much. Maybe your work, you have to do a lot of mental things and talking or this, that. Maybe just put some kirtan in the background. Just remind yourself, oh, Krishna. But everyone has some free time. If you spend all of your time just doing your work, you're wasting your life. Your work should sustain that you're doing bhakti. What is bhakti? You should have attraction for the message of the personality of God, and you should go and hear it. You should hear that message. What are you doing to hear the message? And it's not just enough if you do just, okay, I have my lectures. I also have my lectures, but there's certain elements that I'm not going to be able to grasp. And I reach out to the personalities who can help me with that. And that's the only way I can actually make advancement. So you have to do this. This is the process. It requires becoming very humble. Taking a guru is not easy. to surrender to someone, to submit yourself before someone, especially for an American where we're independent. No way. I'm independent. We don't. Independence Day, all by myself. That's what independent means, right? No, that's stupid. You didn't raise yourself independently. You had your parents help you, and if you didn't, you're probably not that well off, you know. So we need spiritual guidance. So anyway, please, um, all occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. So what does that mean? One, you should never be doing all kinds of your engagements for material gain, for money, wealth, and all these things. It should be for ultimate liberation. Meaning, I'm going to sustain my life so I can practice the process of ultimate liberation. And then on top of that, if you have, if you do service in the world and you are getting some material gain. Material gain will naturally come according to one's karma. It comes. If you use that material gain to cultivate sense gratification, this is very foolish. You should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. And it's not for your enjoyment. Material gain is for ultimate liberation. So if we get some wealth or we get some this, that, and the other, it should go to be supporting ultimate liberation. I've seen in my life, most of my wealth has gone into this place, actually, in my whole life that I've earned. And most of it has gone into this place. But what has this place brought? Every year, guests are coming here. Every year, so many wonderful personalities we've met and who've come and deepened the relationships and helped us advance so much, actually. So this is a good use of wealth to maintain this place. And if you also benefit, it would also be a good use of your wealth to also help maintain such a place. So anyway, this is what we need to do. Yeah, I think I'll stop there. Everyone has enough to think about, how you can improve your life so that your life could be for ultimate liberation, freedom from these entanglements and freedom from these useless labors that we're doing in our life. And then ultimately, we can do the process that will make us yatma supersediti, meaning completely satisfied. And that's yato bhaktir hokshaje, that by which bhakti unto the transcendence is performed. But remember, it's under guidance. It's not, oh, I feel like doing this for the Lord today. That's good, actually. That's better than not doing anything. But even better than that is getting guidance from one of the Lord's servants on what you should do. I made many mistakes for many years that way. Many years. I'm independent. Oh, you do it like this? Well, watch me do it like this, and then I learned, actually, if I understood the science better, that isn't such an appreciable activity. I thought it was very good, but it really wasn't that good because, I didn't take guidance from those who are very well versed on how to practice bhakti. It's confidential. It's very confidential, actually. And it's not available to everyone so easily. It's so rare, actually. So rare. For anyone to actually really deeply be in bhakti is so rare. You have to go through so many of the obstacles of the mind, the temptations of the material world. Like in the Western religious system, Jesus got took into the wilderness and he got tempted by the devil. And the devil gave him all of the worldly temptations and put it at his feet, and he rejected all of them. What? Yeah, Buddha with Mara, the same thing. So yes, in order to ascend, in order to get bhakti or that transcendental platform, all of those things, who can transcend all these temptations? Very difficult. So anyhow, only by grace can it come. Only by grace. So you have to put yourself in a place where a reservoir of bhakti is. Like just like if you you know, you wouldn't try to invent water. You know, say, well, okay, let me collect as much hydrogen and oxygen atoms as I can and, splice and let's see if I can make a whole petri dish of water. And I'll bathe and I'll cook and I'll drink all of that. No, it's very foolish. Naturally you have to connect to a reservoir of water. So similarly, don't try to create bhakti. Don't try to, oh, okay, I'll do this and this and this and I'll put this together and this will be my bhakti. No, you just connect to a source of bhakti. This person has bhakti flowing very nicely. They're connected to the Lord's bhakti shakti. Let me go under them and get that connection. This is Guru. So this is our process. So is any other question? Then we could do a little kirtan. No. Yes, Lalita.
So, this is based on today's experience that I just encountered.
Yes.
So, so the thing is, okay, this is what happened with me, okay? So
Okay.
I was supposed to run an experiment in the lab along with my senior, and I kept waiting for her for almost an hour. And after that, she comes to me and she's like, oh, you know what, we can't do it today because I'm in a rush and let's do it tomorrow. So I literally wasted like 60 minutes of my time just waiting for her.
Were you chanting?
No, I was not chanting.
If you
You
chanted,
wouldn't have wasted-
you wouldn't have wasted the time. The good news. Yes.
Once I realized that we couldn't run the experiment, I was super furious and I started like, getting all the bad words like bitch and all this stuff. So sorry.
You told this to her face?
No,
Oh, I was gonna say it's not a good idea.
supposed to respond in that way.
Yes.
Because I perform Ekadasi, like I do fasting, I also chant, and so this is very uncanny of me to go in that route. So, but this happens spontaneously, it's not under my control. So how do I control my anger in such cases?
Yes. So again, it's kind of what we just talked about. You cannot create bhakti. So you perform, you say, I do Akadashi, I do this, I do that, I do this. These are your own processes. But bhakti doesn't come from your own processes. So when it comes down and you're tested, like Ben, someone told Ben that if you ever have some time off, just chant, no problem. And devotees, they spend much time of the day chanting. Actually, it's beautiful. Whenever some free moment comes up and someone's wasting my time, oh, okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. I always have some rounds to chant, no problem. So then, if that was there, if you had received that bhakti from someone else who had told you that, maybe right now we can all tell you if you ever have some free time or someone is wasting your time, you just chant. It's not a waste of time. It's a good use of time. They're giving you it's amazing that they're giving you a break from all the useless activities that we have to do every day, and you can actually chant. So it's very good, actually. But then as far as controlling your mind and things, unless you have learned the process of overcoming, because why does anger come? Anger comes from greed, and greed comes from lust. So lust means you have a strong desire for something to be a certain way. And maybe you were going to go do something that you wanted to do, right? But that person got in the way of that. And then, so then some greater is, no, I want to do this, and this person is blocking me, and then anger comes towards that person. So, but this is why all material problems come, and all type of unsavory activities that we do. So when that happens, you should try to remember higher teachings. Like if you understood Bhagavad Gita, you could remember that portion of Bhagavad Gita. Oh, this is only coming because I had some lust or something is there. And it's not a problem. I will tolerate. Devotees are trinadapi sunichena. We're more humble than, we have to try to be more humble than grass. Trinadapi sunichena. Tarorapi sahishnana. We're more tolerant than trees. A tree, someone is chopping with an axe and a tree does not protest. The tree doesn't. So devotee is called to be more tolerant than that. No, not just someone wasted a tree's time for an hour or something like this. That's one thing. I also don't want someone to waste my time for an hour. I also sometimes, that happens, and I'm like, oh God. All right, but you have to try to tolerate. But the main thing is, don't do it on your own. If you find somebody who has all of these qualities already, then they can just tell you how to do it, and they can help set you straight, and they can help diagnose what's internally wrong in your processing, which is leading to such an unfulfilling emotion like anger. So if that's coming, there's some imperfection in the mind and in the intelligence that's leading to the anger. So you go to somebody who is uh, able to be transcendental to such a situation, and then they can help you diagnose this thing. So yeah, but next time just chant when you have some free time. Just chant, no problem. It doesn't have to be a problem. You could, if the whole hour they give you, that's, maybe 6 rounds you can chant, and that'd be very good. The devotee who chants 16 rounds a day is very blessed. So maybe they give you a whole hour to work on your thing. But if there's no chanting, if there's no sadhana in your life, then that means all of your activities are going to be for material gains, and then you'll get very greedy for, oh, they're blocking me from whatever material gain you might be thinking about. I don't know, it could be, I could have made more money if I was doing this, or I could have been doing this, or I could have gotten this done, but yeah. Yes.
I have just a quick question.
Yes.
I heard a very good analogy to answer this the other day. It's a very relevant question, especially to people who, are trying to be on the path of bhakti and balance like lab and work life and relationships and all that. How do we sort of reconcile the grace and the causeless mercy, and then the sukriti? What is the correct way to look at our own effort versus effort that is coming down?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, it's all grace, because if you even have the ability or the knowledge to practice activities that build sukriti, that's only coming by grace. So in one sense, bhakti only comes from bhakti. So there's no, there's really nothing else other than the Lord's mercy. But if by good fortune, by grace, like for instance, I don't even know how I came in contact with devotees, and I was way too offensive to actually be able to associate with devotees in the beginning. So Krishna just gave me like a book, and like a book, I could go through the book, and I could build sukriti by appreciating Krishna and appreciating the pastimes and chanting Krishna's names. And slowly, then eventually Krishna gave me the ability to be with devotees. But yeah, it's all coming from grace. It's causeless. So there's no, a devotee wants to share, a devotee on the street, like Madhav might go bring a table to the university and want to talk to someone. The devotee wants to share. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like. The devotee just wants to share Krishna with you. You didn't earn it. You're like, oh wow, this person wore like a cool necklace today. So like, it's just the devotee wants to help. The devotee has a very compassionate, soft heart and wants to help all beings. Like Prahlad Maharaj, that wasn't part of the movie, but he prayed for his father to be delivered after he treated him so horribly, because the devotees like that. Then on the other hand, once you understand, you have enough graces come where you're interested in building sukriti, then that's when you start doing spiritual activities. So, so that's, when you perform seva, and the first seva you should perform is hearing from advanced personalities. So this is going to build the sukriti, and this is what's going to really funnel in that grace. They're giving you like a process. So I'm not sure you have to balance, but maybe evolve.
I don't understand.
Yeah, or even understand what's happening. By grace, somehow or other, everyone got touched with bhakti. Somehow we didn't earn it. Somehow or other, we just came across, in our random material sojourn in the material world, somehow or other, a missionary of the Lord came and touched us in some way and helped us get deeper and led us to the next person who helped us get deeper and led us to the next person, which helped us to get deeper. And when
Can we say that it's our responsibility after that point to use the minute free will that we do have to best align ourselves with more grace? Is that?
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's no question. So like once someone sprinkled some water on you and on your thirsty tongue and you're like, "Oh, that was good." But if you find out where that source of water is, you're like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go there." It's yeah, you when enough grace comes, you'll have the free will to actually practice bhakti. But in the beginning, it's completely dependent on grace because we don't know left from right, up from down. We're just wandering like fools in the material world. But once you know, and you all know now, every one of you knows what to do. You've heard some conclusions. It makes sense. You've probably experienced it in your life that you maybe have been doing some useless labor. Everyone probably has been doing some useless labor. And so you just practice bhakti. Um, so anyway, yeah, that's the balance you could say is don't just sit there and rely on grace, you know. And then when enough grace has come, then you go where the grace is flowing. Oh, this personality, they're like nectar comes out of their mouths whenever they speak. Wherever they are, I have to go, like that. Or even, okay, I'm caught in this situation in life. Here I am, I'm in Syracuse, I've got a lot of responsibilities, I got this, and that. But okay, twice a week, this local place, or even 5 times a week, I can make it to the different activities in which we can do bhakti practices together, hear these messages, and so on. So put yourself in good position, wherever you are, be realistic with yourself. Okay, I'm not gonna drop out of my PhD program tomorrow or things like that and go just chase studies. I'm picking on you, but we don't want you to necessarily do that. Even if you did do that, I'd have to support you. I'm like, all right, you're crazy, but you're gonna go for it. Krishna will protect you, but at the same time, but do what you can with your position. Everyone has a certain position. Everyone has a little bit of free time, and you can chant. That's always a great activity. If you have an hour free, you can chant. Everyone can read some of the conclusions of the scriptures. If you have time, come to a program like this a couple times a week. The more times you do that, the better. And yeah, you'll you'll advance rapidly this way. So just don't do it on your own. That's the main thing. Don't try to do it on your own. That's the number one problem. Okay, little kirtan and then prasad, is that okay? Yes? Okay, no other question? Okay, and it's Ben's last kirtan with us for an undisclosed amount of time. As Ben is going and doing something very good. He's going to go to the Holy Land of Vrindavan and he's going to hear the message of Godhead from his teacher. And that's very, very good. There's really not a very much better activity than that in one's life. So very happy for him. And I'm hopeful because I had the good fortune of being able to help Ben in my life, that I also somehow get some blessing from him being able to make such a good advancement. So anyhow, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Jai. Thank you guys for tolerating.